Teresa, let's talk about diets. There have been huge headlines, the Paleo Diet, the 5-3, the 8-2. What is it with all these diets, and what do you think of the Paleo Diet?
Okay, what do I think of the Paleo Diet? There are a lot of aspects of Paleo that I quite like. Do I think we all need to go Paleo? No. Do I think we need to be 100% strict Paleo? No. I think a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon because it's popular and not really understanding the basics of nutrition. So in clinic, I see a range of people for a range of conditions, and I can tell you there's not a blanket approach to nutrition.
But history would show that people always jump on these bandwagons. I mean, there's so many diets, historically, that people have just gravitated to in mass numbers.
Yeah. And there's a lot of benefits, don't get me wrong. I love foods in their most natural state. Absolutely include protein. Do I think we need to avoid all dairy? No.
And do you have concerns about some of the people and the personalities who are pushing some of these diets? Because a lot of them, from what I see, are really not qualified. They're not a nutritionist like you.
No.
They haven't studied it. A lot of them are chefs or, journalists like myself, and they're coming out saying you should eat or not eat X, Y, Z.
Yeah, it does worry me. I think what I want to get across is I see clients face to face every single day. I see hundreds of people, and I understand the difference between someone that has insulin resistance or someone who wants to be vegetarian. It's just a lot more complicated than what these other celebrities are realising. So there's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
And is it dangerous? I mean, if I go on the paleo and I don't know my body, is there other risks about going on these diets?
I don't think it's necessarily dangerous. I think emotionally it can be
challenging.
It can be challenging, and you can be one of those people that go, well, I'm paleo. And I don't think it's physically dangerous. I just worry that people don't understand what real nutrition is, and they're looking for a quick fix, and they're not really listening to their body.
And particularly, you were saying earlier about sport. If you do sport, that's a different kind of nutrition, and you need a different kind of approach.
Absolutely.
So what do I do? Like I say, I want to lose 5 kilos and I want to start running for the first time.
Yes.
What do I do about my nutrition? What's the best approach to that kind of thing?
That's a big question.
To see a nutritionist.
Go and see a nutritionist. Absolutely.
Yeah. And how do you find one? How do you locate the right one?
Yeah, that's another good question. So, how do I get my clients? It's all through word of mouth, I have to say.
Interviews like this?
Just research in your area, look at their qualifications. You want somebody that's actually qualified.
And what is the qualification? I mean, we're talking about all these celebrities shouting about all these diets. What does an actual nutritionist do? Like, what's the qualification?
Okay, so I have an advanced diploma of nutritional medicine, and then you have dietitians, so they've studied dietetics. So there's a lot of different qualifications. You're right. The best thing to do would be to research, call them up and ask them what their qualifications are. If they're covered by a health fund, you know that they're qualified.
Okay, so that's a really easy way to know. Okay.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the fact that they swear you have to have electrolytes every time you train, and other people say it's a crock of rubbish, you don't need them at all. What is the truth?
Okay, so we absolutely need electrolytes, especially if you're training to that level.